Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. Today, we would be covering another dedicated topic, which is IFRS 9 impairment modeling via ECL. ECL stands for expected credit losses. When in 2014, IFRS 9 came, it's not in 2014. In 2014, IFRS 9 came up with impairment initial recognition of credit losses, and from that point of time this is getting very popular, but unfortunately the countries like India do not have IFRS 9 as yet, so this is not very popular in India, but across the globe this is getting very popular, and of course we are going to have an example of that as well today. IFRS 9 is saying that impairment can be done using ECL. In fact, he states that all the company understand that we have something which is expected credit losses, right? ECL. They are saying there are three ways credit risk can be measured. Stage number one, credit risk has not increased significantly henceforth since initial recognition, 12 months of ECL. Stage second, credit risk has increased significantly since initial recognition. So you have to increase the lifetime ECL. Number three, the financial asset is completely credit impaired. You have to recognize ECL but on a present value basis. Now now what is happening is that now IFRS 9 is coming up with an amendment. This is what something we have in the market, but this is something which the news which we are getting. What is this amendment is all about? Under this amendment, IFRS wanted to redundant this stage 1. So if there is any credit risk which is happening on all the financial assets, now what are the financial assets? These are the financial assets which are applicable. Example, all the financial assets which are measured at the amortized cost, and you know that to measure at the amortized cost, you have to pass through two business model test and cash flow characteristics test. These two tests you have to pass on if you wish to have your financial assets on amortized basis. Now what is happening that all the financial assets which are on the amortized basis, example loans, receivable, leases, trade receivables and debt instrument which are measured in OCI. Why OCI? Because here we have not taken the fair value option. We know that equity instrument cannot be measured using fair value, they have to go to OCI. But for other, except few which are defined, you have to take, there is an option called fair value or fair value option, and the company can take fair value option, and if the company is taking fair value option, then this will go in the P&L, then going in the OCI. But back to business. So what IFRS is saying that they wanted to redundant stage 1 and they wanted to go to stage 2. Now let me have a simple example of that. Suppose we have a bank called Citi who is funded $15 billion to say steel industry. Say some amount of money to US, some amount of money to China, some amount of money to Europe. And we have another similar incident that happened in India when Standard Chartered Bank went up with a $2 billion hit to all the funding which they did to commodity companies, especially SR Group. We all know that what is happening in the steel industry, China is cutting the steel production, commodity prices are falling down, impairments are happening, goodwill impairment is happening. So impairment covering both goodwill impairment and this product impairment, all the things which are happening in the steel industry because of the commodity pricing. In Australia, the investment cycle is getting down, mining is absolutely deep, mining is in the deep mess, so things are very, very shaky, right? Now what would happen that then we know that the $15 billion which Citi has given to this steel industry, they would have some mortgages on that, or the pool on which they give the money. That pool is certainly going to face the hit. There is no doubt about that. That pool is certainly going to face the hit. Now that pool would be a debit, would be your expected credit losses. that pool would be your expected credit losses. And what now IFRS 9, FASB Financial Accounting Standard Board would like to do, they would like to phase out this stage 1 and they would like to move to stage 2 immediately, so that if there is a credit loss which is happening, you will straight away take this on the debit side of the P&L. As simple as that. So they don't want to, they will remove this redundancy of 12 months. This is something which is happening. Over the upcoming time, we will see that these modeling techniques will get a lot of value. Example, probability of default, exposure at default, cumulative default, loss given default, expected cumulative losses, and all such things will gain value. All such things will gain lot of value. So we should first understand that all the financial instruments which are at OCI should not think that they cannot go to the debit side of the balance sheet. All the other non-OCI instrument where the fair value option has not taken place, but that is why they are going to OCI, they can again go to P&L, provided any of these things would happen, and we end up having ECL. So this was the purpose of this video. It's just to keep you aware about ECL, which is expected credit losses. You are always welcome to contact us at www.treasuryconsulting.in, and my email is rahul.magan@treasuryconsulting.in. Thank you and have a wonderful time.